Hey guys, it's Delora Davos here. Thank you for joining me for day 18 of Ethany's 31 Days of Tarot. Today we're going to talk about meditation and journeying with the tarot, which I haven't actually been doing all that long. It was definitely a New Year's resolution of mine, so I'm kind of glad that this cropped up at day 18 because I've been doing it for a few weeks now, since Christmas, because I got myself this as a New Year's present, early New Year's present, and started working with it then. This was the first one that I actually really did because I feel like the Marielle is really, really good for putting yourself inside the card. You know, imagining yourself at the beach and there's this tiger. What does the tiger have to say to you? What does the Justice card have to say to you? She has some really beautiful landscapes in here. I don't know. Oh, yeah. Really great landscapes in here, too. So those are really cool. I certainly enjoy randomly choosing them and just kind of drawing the card at random. I haven't actually taken a card on purpose and used it. Another deck that I like is Krans Archetypes. And this one I actually had a really interesting woo-woo experience that I'll tell you about in a second. The next deck, which I actually forgot to grab, let me grab it now, is the Alchemical Visions Tarot. I saw the image for the Hierophant card back in the summertime. I wasn't that adept with tarot. I feel like I hadn't really, explored all of its uses, and I certainly, it's not that I wasn't aware that you could meditate with it, I just didn't feel like I wanted to. But I saw this deck and I really wanted it, and I couldn't get a hold of it in the summer, obviously. And it's huge. But I saw it on Kelly Bear's channel, and she talked about how huge it was, and I was like, oh wow, I don't know if I want it, but I'm meditating with tarot, and I love the images. I've always loved the images ever since I saw that Hierophant card. And then I watched the review by Hermit's Cave just to really see what all was going on with it, just really get get a feel for it, I guess. And I decided that I've had such good meditations with Krans' archetypal images here, why not try Arthur Tausig's archetypal collages. Yeah, so that was a good little, I broke my rule. It's a very new rule, so maybe I'll just make it 3 decks a month instead of 2. That I would only buy 2 decks of anything per month, and that's it. Because it's kind of gotten to be bad. But I don't really want anything else now. I feel like I'm complete. Anyway, I think it's because I've been meditating so much that I'm starting to feel like, okay. But I also, with the PTSD, sometimes I make impulsive purchases. This wasn't that impulsive, though. I really thought about it before I got it. But anywho, that's aside from the point. Those are the decks that I like to use. I've only used the Alchemical Visions Tarot with 1 card, and it's definitely the kind of deck that I like to pull a card for the week, because I only have 3 days, really, to do meditation work, because on my work days that I work, I just don't feel very in tune at all. Not before work, not after work. My meditations fall very flat as compared to the meditations on my off days. So you could say, yeah, it's a card a week, but it's really more like a card for 3 days worth of seeing. So anyway, so with this one, the only meditation I did do so far was the Star card, and looking at the images really helped me to get to the in-between space and stay there for long periods of time after having looked at it. I would love to see what I can do with it on my next off day. My last off day, I meditated with the Gnosis card from Krans' deck. And something really, really interesting happened. And this is where the kind of prompt ends and my story time begins. So you can leave if you don't want to hear this. But basically, an entity came and visited me. I guess by meditating, I raised my vibrations a lot, and attracted this entity to come and help me and give me some guidance. It was very interesting. I mean, it was really scary, which is part of the story. So when I was working with this image, I really felt the need to kind of tire my eye muscles a little bit by kind of tracing the bird around and around. I traced the little geometric around and around and around and around. And then I traced the bird some more. And then I closed my eyes. And I'm in a forest at night. A bird flies through the sky and I see the aurora borealis in the sky. As I'm looking at the aurora borealis in the sky, there's I feel this very strong presence, very intense presence. And I'm just like, who's there? It's like that horror movie moment when the monster's right behind you breathing on your neck. The entity wasn't breathing on my neck. He was a few paces away from me, actually. He wasn't even that close. I could feel that he was a few paces back. And in that moment that I'm waiting for him to tell me who he is, I feel him in my living room. It's like I'm in the forest. I never left the forest. I never came back to my living room. But I could feel that he was here with me in my living room, if that makes sense. So I was like, who are you? And he basically replies with, I'm here with you in real life as well as in this journey. Like, I'm here. Whoever I am, I'm here now. And at the same time that I was kind of like, very childishly kind of like, well, I'm not afraid of you. You know, he tells me, don't be afraid of me. So it kind of clashes, and we have this kind of like, you know, like, I'm not afraid of you, don't be afraid of me. Okay, then why am I so terrified? You know, because it's the unknown, of course. I haven't spoken to spirit since I was a child, and I really don't remember most of it. So I'm kind of going through, and I'm trying not to be scared, and then I'm getting scared, and then I'm trying not to be scared, and then I'm getting scared, right? And he lets me kind of just sit there with his presence and battle this fear of mine. I guess he got a little impatient, as I'm sure anyone would. And he tells me, that is what's holding you back. That fear. And that was a really potent and powerful lesson for me. Of course, afterwards, you know, like, I opened my eyes immediately after that, took myself out of the meditation, and just kind of still felt his presence in my house a little bit. I still felt a little bit of that. So I burned some frankincense and very politely was like, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I need time to think about this. Bye. Bye. Not like, get the fuck out of my house, oh my god. Like, I try to be as super respectful as possible with it. And whenever I told it thank you and everything, and I kind of burned the incense a little bit, it was immediately gone. The incense didn't even burn all the way through. I didn't even get to my bedroom before I felt that it was gone and that I was actually like alone with my cats again. And that was probably, it was so intense and so strange. I had so many questions that the next day I go to my witchy shop. Because the people in there are actually so well informed. Like, they don't just hire any schmuck to go work in that shop. And I like that about the shop. So I talked to her, because like I had kind of like Googled some things online, and they were all bullshit, and I read them, and I was like, this is all fucking bullshit. What is this? This is disgusting and stupid. And I was immediately like, just disgusted and turned off by it. I was like, wow, is there no valid information out there? I go to the witchy shop, and I'm like, hey, I'm looking for a book on spirits, like a really, really legit book on spirits. I told her what happened. I told her that as a child I spoke to them, and she goes, okay, come here. And she takes me over to the shelves, and she's pulling a few off the shelf, and she pulls this one off the shelf. Gnosis. 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 Synchronicity. I could not ignore this synchronicity, so I had to get this book. Unfortunately, this was only like a couple of days ago, so haven't even gotten to get into the meat of it, but my witchy shop, they anoint the books or the boxes of books or their shelves or something. Like, I want to buy this oil from them so badly. I've never smelled an oil like this in my life before, and I love it. Gotta figure out what it is. Anyway, that's beside the point. Now I'm rambling. Thank you guys so much for joining me. And if you stayed this long, I really appreciate you hearing out my very interesting spirit work experience with meditating on the tarot. Of course, after this experience, I incorporate quartz crystals for protection. Quartz crystals are the best spiritual protection crystals. I Googled and went down a rabbit hole of spiritual protection crystals, seeing like if maybe there was like this really weird, obscure, potent crystal. No, quartz is the best crystal for it. That's all you really need. And I was shocked, like, only quartz? But I guess because it's so abundant, we kind of lose our appreciation for it. So I didn't want to believe that only quartz was what would protect me so well, and it has. It has protected me since. Not protected me, but if I put, the idea on that it's like, and now I actually, read the cards before I start meditating on them. So, with it being an oracle deck, that's what I should have done to begin with, but with this being a tarot deck, I feel like I don't need to be that careful with it, but anywho, bye. Thank you so much for listening, and yeah, until next time, happy dabbling, and bye-bye.